Hello, this is Rachel from Cypress Textiles, and today we're going to be making the Redbud square from the 2018 Vibrant Vintage Crochet Along Reboot. So let's get started. I'm going to be using Shapejust Soft Fun Denim in this dark charcoal gray color. I love working with this color. And first I've made a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 3 as usual. You can chain 4 or make a magic ring, whatever you prefer. And slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the hook to make a ring. And in the ring, I'm going to make some 2DC clusters. So first I have to make a beginning 2DC cluster. And so I'm going to go into my center ring and make a beginning DC, which is just a single crochet and a chain 1. So I'm going to go straight into a single crochet, chain 1 without turning up or anything, without making a turning chain. And then I'm going to make a regular DC stitch to complete my beginning 2DC cluster. All right, so that's the beginning 2DC cluster right there. And whenever you come back around to join your round, you're going to work into this full DC here and just ignore the beginning DC. And then I'm going to chain 2. And now as I make a regular 2DC cluster, I'm going to just insert the hook and pull up a loop, draw the yarn through 2 loops on the hook 2 times. So insert the hook and pull up a loop, and draw the yarn through 2 loops on the hook. So now I've got 3 loops on my hook, my leading loop and my 2 from the partial DC, I like to call them. And then draw the yarn through all 3 of those loops, and that's your 2DC cluster. So that is our repeat chain 2 2DC cluster. I'm going to do that 6 more times until I have 8 total 2DC clusters. All right, so now I have my final 2 chains on the hook here, and you can see I've got 8 2DC clusters, including the beginning one. So now I'm going to join into my beginning 2DC cluster. So how I join into a beginning 2DC cluster is just like a regular cluster. Even though this is a full DC, you're just going to work into these 2 front loops right here, not working into the DC like normal. That way it looks more like a cluster. So then I'm going to make my slip stitch. All right, and now working straight into this chain space, I'm going to make a beginning DC. So I don't chain up or anything. I just go straight into a single and then make a chain 1, and that's my first double crochet for the round. Now I'm going to make 3 more double crochet in that same chain space. And then I'm going to make 4 double crochet in the next chain space. And in all the remaining chain spaces, I'm going to make 4 double crochet. Okay, so now I have 4 double crochet in all 8 chain spaces, and I'm ready to join into my beginning double crochet. Make sure when you join into your beginning double crochet that you take these 2 loops here and not just the back loop. So make sure you take that middle loop as well, and that way you won't have a giant hole whenever you join your round. So how I do that easily is I just take the front loop, and then I insert my hook through the space between to take my slip stitch. And make sure your slip stitch is not too tight. Make sure it's nice and loose so it lays over this joining stitch. Now, to start the next round, in the next stitch, not in the joining stitch, in the next stitch, you're going to make a single crochet. Just go straight into it. You don't have to chain up or anything. And then chain 2, skip 1, and make another single crochet. So that's how we're going to do it. Chain 2, skip 1, single crochet. Okay, so I've got that round complete, and I've got my 2 chains on the hook ready to join. So I'm going to join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round. And then working straight into this next chain space for the next round, I'm going to work a petal. So I'm going to single crochet, chain 1, 2 DC, chain 1, and single crochet. And that is exactly what I'm going to do in every chain space around. So my petal round is complete. Now I've got my last single crochet on the hook, and instead of joining my round, I'm going to release the loop from the hook and insert the hook back to front through the first single crochet of this round. And then I'll grab my loop and pull it through to the back. And that way I can work on the back of my piece without making it obvious that I've switched my yarn to the back. So now I'm going to chain 3. Okay, and then I'm going to go in between these 2 single crochet to work into this skipped single from 2 rounds ago. So how I'm going to do that is like this. Go back to front and use your thumbs to stabilize everything, and just push your hook from back to front between these 2 single crochets. There's no chain stitch there or anything. So you're going to just have to go straight between the 2 singles, and then use the hook part of your hook. I don't know which type of hook you're using, but you should be able to just dig into that single crochet and then turn your work to the back, and then you've got that stitch. And then make a single crochet in it, and then chain 3, and I'll show you again. So use your thumbs to stabilize and go back to front between these 2 single crochets, and then dig your hook into the stitch, and you've got it. And then make your single. Okay, so my chain 3 round is complete, and I have 3 chains on the hook right now, and normally I would be ready to join my round. However, since everything is behind the petals, we're not going to actually make our final single crochet. We're just going to skip it straight into this chain space by making a single crochet into it. So I've got my final 3 chains, and I'm just going to single crochet into the first chain space from the round. And so we're not actually joining the round, and that's okay because everything's behind the petals anyway. So I'm going to make 2 more single crochet in that chain space to make 3 singles total. Then I'm going to make a 3 half double crochets. So 3 half doubles, and now we're at our corner, which is going to be 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. All right, next, in the next chain space, we're going to do 3 half doubles. And then we're back to the beginning of our repeat. So I'm going to do 3 singles, 3 half doubles in our corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and then 3 half doubles in the next chain space. All right, so just do that 3 more times, and then we'll be back at the beginning. Alrighty, so my round's complete, and I've just done my 3 half doubles, and I'm ready to join with a slip stitch into the first single of the round. All right, and now after this, I have a very simple round of half double crochet. So starting in the next stitch, as usual, not in the joining stitch, I'm going to make a beginning DC, but it's also going to act as a beginning HDC. So it works for an HDC because it still squats down enough to be at the right height for a HDC. So I'm just going to single crochet and then chain 1. And then in all the stitches to the corner, I'm going to make half double crochets. And just be careful when you're working into the half doubles from the round before that you don't mistakenly go into the wrong loop, because half doubles can be a little tricky to work into. So all the way to the corner, and then when you get to the corner, you're going to do 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets. Alrighty, so after your half double crochet round is done, you're going to join into that beginning DC, which acted as the beginning HDC, just like before with the slip stitch. All right, and now we're up to our final round. So just making sure that you work into the proper chain, the top of the HDC with your single crochet. We're gonna have just our single crochet round to finish off this square. So you're gonna make single crochet in all of your stitches up to the corner, and then in the corner you'll work 3 singles. All right, so since this is such an easy repeat, I'll see you guys whenever I'm finished with this round. Okay, so now that the single crochet round is finished, I'm ready to slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round to join it, and then pull up a big loop for your tail and break your yarn. And now you're ready to weave your tail as normal. So I go from back to front through the stitch to the left of the joining stitch, through both loops, and pull the tail to the back, and then go from back to front through the back loop only, through the stitch to the right of the joining stitch, and then just every subsequent stitch go from back to front through back loop only, and grab your tail and swoop it to the back of the work. And that is how you're going to bury your tail. All right, this has been the Redbud square from the VVCAL 2018 reboot. And I hope you guys like this little petally square. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Y'all have a great day and happy crafting.